We're going to take several takes of a MIDI performance, and then similarly we'll do the same with audio here. And then we're going to edit together all the different takes to create the best possible version of a performance or a compositional sort of moment together here. So I'm going to just start somewhere around here. This is where the glass piano comes in. You can see I've got this track armed here. This is the bass. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and hit record here. Nothing else is armed, so we shouldn't be overdubbing or doing anything else. I'm just focusing right here on this track, and I'm going to play for, I don't know, 4 to 8 measures, and then repeat the process again. So here we go. I'll give myself a little count in. Okay, there's one take. So I'm just going to record directly on top of this. It's important to note that if I had this selected here, this MIDI overdub, this would then merge whatever I had been playing with new MIDI. And they would both be living in the same region, but really I want to just record over it. So I'm going to make sure that this MIDI overdub icon is not selected. And then you'll see I'm just going to hit record again, and we will be recording on top of the existing take. Okay, separate. So you can see that it created a new take lane, and it's now put the performance just below it. So if you're not seeing them, you can right click here, and right here where it says show take lanes, I can hide them if I only want to see the last performance, or I can right click again and say show take lanes. Now you can do this as many times as you want or need. Maybe sometimes you're just trying to nail the same performance and you're just continually doing it over and over. In that case, maybe you want to dictate a loop length and set it to be wherever you want it to be. And then as you record, it'll just continue to cycle through. Maybe you have 5 takes, 10 takes, whatever it is. So now I have the ability to comp this together. So we're looking at 2 different takes here. This is the main take, and then we've got our other version of it. So let's say I actually liked the beginning of this one, which I did because I like this sort of ending on the root note here. So all I've done right now is just highlight this area, and then I'm going to press enter. And you can see it kicked it up to the top here. So now what we're seeing is actually the very first part of take 1 and then the second part of take 2. So up here, this is our composite track, and then these are the different takes. And then I can get in here, and I'm actually going to zoom in so we can see this a little bit better. I can move this aside. I can try to overlap this way as well. But you can see it's doing it to the grid line. So what I'm going to do is just right click right here in the grid. And then as I move down, you can see that I can actually change the way the grid is being displayed to me. And since I want to do something really granular, I'm actually going to go off grid. Now, if you were using Pro Tools, this would be called slip mode. All right, so you can see that actually there's a little bit of an overlap here. So what I'm going to do now that this is taken care of is grab this and just pull it over, and we should be good. Now there's no weird sort of overlap of the MIDI. But I am going to need to go in here and adjust the start of this particular MIDI note. Otherwise, we're not going to catch it while we're in there. All right, so now I've got the beginning and a second portion of another take. Let's take a listen here. Okay, this is when I stop liking that. So let's grab the second take here. So I've just highlighted it and I'm going to press enter again. So similarly, we have some sort of conflicting MIDI situation happening here. But I can go in and do all sorts of editing down here in my editor. I'm just going to get rid of this one. Okay. So now I've got pieces of the first take, pieces of the second take that I've put together here to create my composite track. Now I'm going to go ahead and just close this. If I wanted to, I could then take all of these, just holding shift while clicking the beginning and then at the last region I want, and I could consolidate these clips. We can do that by going up to edit and then scrolling down to consolidate here. You can see that the key command for this would be Command J or Control J on a PC. And boom, one big old clip. So I can go in from there and continue to mess around. Remember that I'm off grid right now. If I need to go back on grid, I'm going to right click. I always just suggest an adaptive grid, which will change based upon how zoomed in you are. I tend to stick with narrow. Okay, so that's MIDI, and I can always go back in here and readjust based upon my takes. So I went ahead and I did several sort of improvisational melodic stuff that's going on here. I've got 3 separate takes, and the third one is currently at the top here. So I'm just going to do the exact same process and grab little pieces and chunks of one section and maybe not of another. All right, so let's take a listen here. Okay, I'm already not liking this. Let's try this phrase here. So I just highlighted it and pressed enter. So I'm gonna just get rid of this one for now. Let's take a listen to it now Okay, cool. So I've got little pieces of one section and then another here. I'm going to zoom in. And you can see if I zoom way in here, Live is actually creating a cute little crossfade for me, which I can go in and grab the edges of and adjust accordingly if there's like a weird breath or something that we need to get a little bit deeper in on here. So I'm going to do something just sort of more creative. I'm going to grab just really abrupt sections of different parts of this. It's going to sound a little, disjointed, but by design. And then I'll add a bunch of reverb and delay and just try to do something slightly more exciting. I'll just stop there for the sake of time. And then I'm going to turn up the reverb and the delay here as well. Let's see how this sounds. Kind of a vibe. Cool. So you can see that I can do it to be utilitarian. I can try to just decide which parts of which take I want. I could really get very surgical and say, if this was a phrase, I need the ah from this one, and then the aunt, the TNT from this take. And, comping can be very granular. It can be really creative, which is sort of the second application that I showed here as well. The process is the same whether it's audio or MIDI. And then again, if I wanted to just close these lanes, I just right click on the track header, select show take lanes. We've got it down here. I can again consolidate this clip if I wanted to make it one big old clip. I could just grab it all, and then I'm going to use the key command this time, Command J. You can see Ableton jumping into action here, consolidating that clip on our behalf. And then we've got a clean clip of just one region, which then we could do all sorts of more slicing, dicing, and warping with if we so desired.